Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to take you to the next topic, that is Introduction to Programming. Let's get started. So what is programming? Before we directly jump onto the Java programming and how to use Java or how to understand Java programming and all those stuff, let's first understand what exactly is meant by programming. So what is programming? So what is programming, guys? So here is a line. Programming is the process of creating instructions that a computer can follow to perform specific tasks. Let me explain this line for you. First, what I am saying, programming is nothing but the process. Okay, it's a process. Programming is a process. Which type of process? As part of this programming process, we are going to create some instructions. Okay, and give the instructions to the computer. By following these instructions, the computer will perform some specific tasks. This is what is programming means. You see, in real world, what happens is there will be one person known as or a role known as programmer or developer. What the programmer or developer will do in real world, the programmer or developer will write some code. Okay, that code will work like instructions. To whom? We are inputting that code to whom? We are giving that code as an instructions to whom? To the computer machine where the programmer or developer is working on. Okay. Let's assume that I am the programmer or developer. I am writing some piece of code. That piece of code will act like some instructions to whom? The computer on which I am writing the code. For that computer, it will act like the code will act like my code will act like instructions. What the computer will do by taking that instructions, computer will understand the instructions, and according to the given instructions, computer is going to perform some specific tasks. Okay. So let's say as a programmer, assume that as a programmer, I have written some code for this paint software. Okay. I have written this code for this paint software. Okay. Now what the programmer has done is, what I have done is, let's say I have written the code for this paint software, and now if I am doing something, some sort of instructions are being given to the computer to display a circle here. The specific task is a circle. Okay. So this is what is programming, guys. Okay. So the paint software, okay, was developed by the developers or programmers by writing some piece of code or some good amount of code. As we cannot see in the visual UI that some code is running, but definitely some code is running behind the scenes here, and that code is being sent as instructions to the computer machine, so that by understanding that instructions from the given code by the programmer, the computer is performing some specific tasks like drawing or sending emails. It can be anything depending on the type of the software. Okay, fine. So these instructions, we can call them as code. Programs are code. Okay. So as part of the programming, it's a process of creating instructions, right? That instructions is known as code, or you can call it as programs. These are written in different programming language. We can choose any of the programming languages for writing these programs for programming purpose. Okay, we can write the code, programs, etc. That is to give the instructions to the computer to perform specific tasks. That instructions can be written in any programming languages. Okay, like we human beings have different languages to speak, like English, Chinese, Japanese. Okay, Hindi, Telugu, like all the different type of languages we have to speak with a lot of other guys, other people. Similarly, okay, while writing the code also, programmers can follow some kind of language. Okay, there are multiple languages, programming languages in the market. Few examples of that languages are Java, Python, C++, C Sharp, JavaScript. Okay, here C++, C, C hash, Ruby, many are there. Okay, Ruby and JavaScript and many more. Okay, these are just some examples, guys, such as some examples. Okay, Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, JavaScript, C, C++, Go language, Haskell. Many programming languages are there in the market that the programmer can use for creating the instructions. That instructions will be given to the computer to perform some specific tasks. Okay, this is what is called as programming, guys. Okay, then why programming? Why the developers have to write the programs and what is the use of programming? So if you want to develop any application, it can be a website, web application, or mobile application, or desktop application, or any type of application that is a piece of software. Okay, the programmers have to do programming, that is write the code using any of these languages to build such kind of software. Okay, here I already shown you one software, that is Paint software. This is built by a developer. Okay. Maybe the developer of this particular Paint software may have used C hash as a programming language and has developed this particular software. Okay. That's the need of, programming, guys. Okay. One main need of programming is to create software, to build software. Okay. Every app, website, and piece of software is built with code. Nowadays, in our real world, a lot of softwares exist. Okay. Whatever you see on the screen, I'm using Xmind software. Whatever the software that you are using here, I'm using for notes purpose or explanation purpose is nothing but an Xmind software. Xmind. Okay. I've installed it. It's a desktop application software. This software is also built by using programming, guys. Okay. Some developer or programmer of this particular Xmind company has developed this software by writing some code. That code is now working as instructions. Okay, that code is working like instructions to the computer machine. The computer machine is taking that instructions and performing the task, like creating this kind of notes and all. Okay, using this Xmind software. Paint software also same thing, right? Some developer or programmer has written the code. That code is working like instructions to the computer, and computer is performing some tasks like drawing here and all those stuff. Okay, like that many softwares are in the market, and all these softwares to be built, we have to use programming language. Okay, like Java, Python, C sharp. Okay, like that. What is the other need of programming? Why programming? To build software, that is one answer. What is other need for programming? Job opportunities. Okay. Why people learn programming, guys? To build softwares. And also why people learn programming? For job opportunities. Okay. So if you want to get into automation testing as a software tester, or if you want to get into development, okay, by learning some programming language, here also programming language is required. Here also programming language is required. A lot of job roles are there in the market in the IT field. Okay, the people who learn this kind of programs, different programming languages, okay, can apply for this jobs like automation tester or developer, etc. kind of jobs. Okay, and they can get into the company. So there are two reasons why programming. The main reason is to build the software, and because of which only the job opportunities exist. Okay, fine. So now you understood what exactly is programming. Hope you got some idea like what exactly is programming now. Okay, it's nothing but a code which works like instructions to the computer to perform, which will make the computer to perform some specific tasks. Okay, so why programming? Also to build the software which can give instructions to the computer to perform the tasks. We have to learn programming, and also another type of answer we get why programming means people learn programming because of for job opportunities to get into some IT jobs. So what are the different popular programming languages that are there in the market? Okay, now we understood what is programming and why programming. Now let's understand what are the popular programming languages that are available in the market. There are several popular programming languages available in the market. So definitely I can say that I've started my journey with C language, guys. Okay, I started my journey with C programming language. So after C, I didn't go to C++. I directly jumped from C to Java. I didn't get a chance because, during in my curriculum, the C++ was not there during my engineering studies and all. So my first introduction to the programming was C language. Then in one of the semester, it was Java directly, not C++, C and Java directly. And C++ was not there in my curriculum. And then later part, once I was working in the companies and all where I have to do automation using different tools and all, right, I went to Python. Okay, I got introduced to Python, and for same training requirements I also went to C hash, C sharp. Okay, Ruby, it was very near to me, but I didn't work on it. Okay, it came very near to me in one of the project. I need to work on Ruby language, but no, I didn't get a chance. By the time I was moving into Ruby, the project was shifted to Java type. Okay, Java language thing. So I didn't get a chance to work on Ruby though. Then JavaScript also I have some knowledge, and for a different reason I have learned JavaScript. Okay, so yeah, instead of talking about me, right, if you have to list down popular programming languages in the market, C, C++, Java, Python, C hash, Ruby, JavaScript, and many other popular programming languages are there, but these are the major ones. C, C++, Java, Python, C sharp, Ruby, JavaScript are the major ones. Okay. Now, since this many programming languages I have listed for this course known as Java in-depth course, okay, this just for your knowledge purpose I have listed. It doesn't mean that in this course or curriculum you are going to learn all the programming languages. I am going to focus only on Java programming language, that too in depth. You see, no matter how many programming languages are there, no matter how many programming languages are there, do we have to learn all the programming languages? If so, If yes, the answer is yes. If you have to learn multiple programming languages for your IT career and job opportunities purpose, if you have to learn multiple programming languages, what should be your approach? All these things I'm going to cover in this topic. Do we have to learn multiple programming languages at a high level? That is yes, guys. Okay. So, but even though the answer is yes, you should not rush up like, okay, I need to put all these programming languages in my resume. So I learn C, C++, Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, Java. Should not learn like that. Okay, should be good at one programming language first. Okay, you have to learn, you have to understand different programming fundamentals that are used by one famous programming language, like for example Java you take. But if you start with Java, right, learn Java in kind of depth and understand each and everything about Java, then move to another programming language. And parallelly, while you are learning Java, again parallelly, if you are learning Python or C hash or Ruby or JavaScript, it doesn't go well. Okay, so the best way of learning programming language is, yes, the answer is multiple programming languages may be required for you to learn, because when you work in the IT in IT career, or when you work into the IT field, right? Not always you have to work with single programming language, multiple programming languages we may have to work with. Okay, so we should know the programming language, but when you are getting started, don't start with all the programming languages, guys. Stick to one programming language, get all the confidence on the programming languages, understand inch and inch of the programming language. So, understanding the programming concepts fully using one programming language, then with that confidence, if you are going and learning other programming language by comparing the first programming language you already have learned, is the best approach I can say. That worked for me, guys, and that will work for everyone. And later you can learn as many number of possible, okay, possible programming language based on your requirement. Okay, so it happens where, suddenly in companies, I also have faced such kind of situations where in one of the project I have to, do selenium automation with C sharp, and at the time I was learning Java. Okay, and situations came where I have to stop Java and just simply move on to the C sharp. Okay, it happens, guys. That's okay. Based on your priorities, you can switch, but ultimately, if you have the time and all, don't directly jump, guys. First complete Java, then go for another Python, then go for C sharp, okay, then go for JavaScript or Ruby, etc., based on your requirement in your companies and all. So, but be good with one programming language. That should be your ultimate goal. Maybe because of your situations and all, you may switch different languages, but at some point of time, you should get a feeling that I'm good with one programming language at least. Then you can switch to any other programming language, and we should be very flexible enough, guys, in our in IT company and all. We should be very flexible enough in switching between the programming languages according to the project needs and conditions. Okay, don't say that I'm into Java, I cannot work on C sharp. That is a very bad thing to say in your IT career. Okay, so whenever your project demands you to work on a particular language that you are not good with, don't say that I'm good with Python, I cannot do Java. I'm good with Java, I cannot do Python. Don't say all this stuff. According to your requirements, whatever that comes to your plate, right? Pick that programming language, be a master in that, and give 100% and be good in that project. Okay, that's the main priority. The reason why you are learning all these programming languages too is to apply them in your projects. But if you are rejecting the project itself, what is the use? Okay, so don't reject the project for your learnings, but keep learning according to your project requirements. Okay. So that's what is a message I would like to give, apart from telling you whether you have to learn multiple programming languages, because I would like to also share my experience, okay, with you all, like, because not everyone will say give you the guidance, right? So I would like to give the guidance, like, start with one programming language, but if your situation doesn't support in your projects where you have to switch to another language, switch. Okay, but at some point of time, have some thought in your mind that you are going to complete one programming language in depth, no matter what. Okay, so overcome the situations, whatever the work that you have to do for the project, do it. And but aim it in a long term, aim that I will be completing one programming language in depth, and at some point of time that will happen. And then you are very free to move to any programming language that you want. Okay, you don't have to stop anywhere. That's great. The next thing about this last topic about the introduction to programming part is, there's something like programming paradigms. Okay, programming paradigms. What are these programming paradigms? So let's understand the term programming paradigms. Though I'm going to explain this topic in depth later, okay, almost at the end of this course, I'll explain, because it comes into a theoretical topic. Even whatever I covered so far is also theoretical, I can understand, but ultimately there will be some theoretical part that is must for a trainer for explaining them to the students. Okay, but a few theoretical parts I can postpone, because a lot of theory if I give, right, you'll get lost. Okay, you'll get lost in this. You'll not be able to understand my sessions, and also have optimized this theoretical part in such a way that whatever the important theoretical part that you have to know before you get started with actual practical stuff of Java programming and all, I'm covering here. But whatever I can postpone to my level best, I'm doing that. So okay, so I'll not cover so much of theory, guys. Maybe some theory will be there. You have to accept it because without that, we cannot understand the things going ahead. So, programming paradigms, let's try to understand now. Different paradigms provide different approaches to write programs, each with its own strength and use cases. If you ask one person to drive a car, okay, if you ask some people, let's bring 100 people and one by one they have to take your car and drive the car. Do you think everyone will drive the car in the same way? No, right? Every person may have a style. Some person will be very cautious while driving, okay? They'll not go beyond 40 kilometers speed, okay? Per second speed, okay? 40 kilometers per hour speed, okay? They'll go very slow, okay? They'll go very slow for not more than 40. They're stable driving and checking everything here and there, they will drive it. Other person likes racing, okay? They don't want to go below 120 kilometers per hour, okay? Below 120 k per hour. Okay, there will be such kind of people. Some people, very novice people and very new people, and they'll drive all zigzag. Suddenly, they'll apply the brakes and all. Some people are very good at driving. They can cut the car like anything. Okay, all the driving ways, like turning on the wheel and all those stuff they are doing very well. So different type of people drive the car in a different way, right? Similarly, while you're programming, also there are different ways in which you can write the programs. Okay, so there are different approaches you can say. Okay, for a developer or programmer to write the programs, there are different approaches created. The major approaches we have are imperative programming and declarative programming. Okay, so imperative programming means how to do it. That means it's like for real world example, I'll tell you at a high level. I'm explaining, right? I don't want to go too much theory. I'll try to explain them in a funny way or real world example way. So I would like to give more example for theoretical topics. Imperative programming. Here, real world example. Okay, you have to prepare pizza by following step by step process. Okay, this is imperative. Let's say this is a concept of imperative programming. Will relate to this kind of stuff. In real world, if you want to eat pizza, what you will do? You will either prepare it by yourself by following some video on YouTube, step by step process you will follow. Whatever the flour you need to add, what are the ingredients you need to add, you will prepare them step by step, you'll add them and finally uh, bake them and you'll get the pizza. That is one way. That is imperative way. So how to do it? Here step by step sequence of process will be there, instructions will be there while writing the code. If you are writing the programming in such a way that you are giving with help of programming, if you are giving step-by-step instructions, okay, these are the instructions to get that particular task to be done. If you are writing step-by-step instructions, you are creating a variable. I don't want to go deep then, okay. So that is called as imperative programming, guys, okay. Focus is on how to do it, okay. On giving, you are giving instructions to the computer to follow the code in a step-by-step manner, sequence of code in a step-by-step manner, okay, and perform the task in the sequence. Okay, giving line by line instructions to the computer is imperative way of programming. If you're writing the programming in such a way that the program is giving the instructions to computer in a line by line, okay, one line after the another line kind of basis, that is called as imperative programming. What are the types of imperative programming? We have procedural programming under imperative programming, and object oriented programming also comes under imperative programming. These are subtypes. Okay, at a high level, programming paradigm has imperative programming. Under that, you understood the concept of imperative programming, right? You are giving instructions by writing the code. You are giving instructions to the computer to follow the instructions in step-by-step format or line-by-line format. That way of programming is called as imperative programming. Under imperative programming, we have subtypes known as which follow the imperative programming paradigm concept known as or approach of programming known as procedural programming and object-oriented programming. Okay. So what are the programming languages which follow this imperative programming? The main programming languages we use here, okay, generally fall into the imperative programming. For example, C, Java, Python, whatever the things that I have listed down here will fall into the imperative programming, where we are going to give the instructions to the computer in a step-by-step format. If you are into C, Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, etc., JavaScript, etc., right? You know what is imperative programming already. Then declarative programming is a sense where what to do. It's not about giving the instructions in a step-by-step manner to the computer rather than describing what goal need to be achieved. Okay, focusing on describing what need to be done rather than specifying I want this. That's it. How you will do? I'll not tell you. Step by step, I'll not tell you. I'll not write the code in such a way that step by step instructions you will get for me to get the task done. Rather, I'll simply ask you, I want this. You have to give me. Okay. In the real world, you can compare that with ordering a pizza, guys. Okay. When we don't know the process of how it got prepared, okay, we are simply going to order the pizza, right? We don't have to follow step by step process. Simply, I want pizza. You are going to use some app, food delivery app, and then you order the pizza from there, and the pizza will come to your home. That is what is declarative. Okay, just asking what you want. Okay, if your programming approach of a programming language is something like declarative programming, where in that programming language you simply ask what you want, but you'll not give instructions by writing the code line by line that this is how you need to do and give me the task. Okay, this is how you have to write line by line and give me the output. It's not like that. Okay, in this declarative programming, you're simply asking it, I want this. That's it. You are not giving instructions step by step manner. Okay, so small line will be there. That's okay. I'm still explaining at a high level, guys. This concept is very lengthy or big in depth. So that's the reason I thought of not explaining this concept in complete depth here. I'll do it later. Okay, when the time comes. But at least where since we are in already in a theoretical topic as part of this session, if you can understand, that's all good. If not understood, you just wait for the turn to come. Okay, after the course, at the ending of the course, when we reach a sustainable state, right, I'll cover this programming paradigms in depth for you. Till then, don't mess with this topic. Try to understand it at a high level, whether you understand or not. Theoretically, try to understand. Okay. Here, subtypes are all there, guys. Declarative programming, functional programming is one type, and logic programming is another type. These are the examples for the declarative programming. Examples are SQL. In SQL, you'll not write the instructions, right? You'll simply say select star from users from so and so table, from users table. Select star from table where ID is equal to 5. If you write this SQL statement, okay, it will hit the database and get you the record of the user who is having the ID column value as 5. Okay, but it not you are not giving instructions like this how you need to retrieve and all. You are that low level logic you are not instructing in the form of line by line basis. Simple, you are asking, you are commanding. Okay, so let's say you went to hotel and a waiter came and you are saying to the waiter that I want pizza, but just listen, the pizza should be of this many dimensions and you have to first add this while preparing. And if you are telling that to the okay, the waiter that who has come to your table for taking the order, if you give all the instructions on how to prepare, okay, that is called as imperative. But if your same waiter came and simply saying that I want pizza of this size and then I want pizza, okay, this pizza I want means if you get the pizza, that is called as declarative, direct. Okay. So your step-by-step instructions won't be there at a high level, guys. These are different type of approaches of writing the programs. The developers can write the programs according to the language. Some language will support imperative, some languages will support declarative. Okay, so here examples for the declarative type of programming is SQL, Haskell, and maybe many more will be there. But imperative is step-by-step instructions giving to the computer to perform the task with the help of programming approach. Declarative is where you are not giving step-by-step instructions, you are directly commanding the computer to give this thing to get the task done. Okay, so that is declarative. And this topic, I also, as I already mentioned, I'm not going to cover in depth, guys. It's a very big topic. I cannot cover that in depth here. This is not the right time. So since it is a theoretical topic, but I hope that you have learned something new in this particular topic, like as part of what is programming or why programming or popular programming languages are. Do we have to learn multiple programming languages or programming paradigms? Somehow, directly or indirectly, some kind of knowledge you have acquired. I just feel that, okay. I just hope that you have got something, some kind of input. Okay. So if you can remember them and you can understand them, so all well good. But if you don't remember or this is a theoretical topic, I cannot say that you have to remember everything here. So whatever the kind of mindset or some kind of knowledge you got from this session, I'm very happy for that. Okay. So assuming that you have understood this introduction to programming part, next in the next session we'll move on to the introduction to Java, guys. Okay. So course introduction is done in the previous session. In this session, introduction to programming is done. Now in the next session, we are going to go with the introduction to Java part. Okay, introduction to Java. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.